Welcome back to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm GoLocal News editor Kate Nagel. I'd like to welcome my next guest in, Joanne Schofield with Mentor Rhode Island. This past week, the Warwick School Committee decided to cut funding for the school-based mentoring program there, impacting 126 students.
160 kids.
160. Well, I want to thank you for coming in during this busy time here to talk about what this means, because this was really the core, this is what started the whole mentoring, Mentor RI, which it is now known as. But back in the day, this is where it all began.
It really did all begin 30 years ago in Warwick with 10 mentors and 10 students, and developing those really meaningful relationships over time makes a difference for kids because they have that caring adult and advocate in their lives. Since we started the Warwick program, we've actually been able to help replicate that in 26 other communities, and that impacts over 1,000 mentors and 1,500 kids. So it's incredible that Warwick is not just loving up this program that was the foundation for so much good, not to mention for their own kids.
And this came out of the blue. You had no idea that this was even on the cutting board. Of course, cities and towns across the state are grappling with budgetary issues, but you had this statement out. This isn't some, as you said, something that really could be considered lightly. It's not an addition. It's really, in your research shows, a necessity.
It really is a necessity. We have so many of our kids that have been let down by adults before, and how do I go and tell 160 kids that they're going to be let down again? Their mentor's not coming. The city doesn't provide the funding, whether it's through the school department or the city. It doesn't matter to us. We just know that the bottom line is about the kids. And how do we start a school year where we left them in June and said, hey, see you in September, and then we can't be there for them.
So the fight is just beginning. Are you looking to see this funding restored?
Absolutely.
And so
yes.
You're urging, I'm sure, board members, mentoring supporters to be calling members of the school committee.
School committee and the city council. In Warwick, there's been a long history of, let's say, negotiations between the two parties. And at this point, it appears that the school district will probably end up doing what's called a Carullo Act, which means it basically goes to court to get more money from the city.
Okay.
I have no idea how that's all going to play out, but that won't play out until December or January. So if funds are restored at that point, we've been told we're on the short list for restoration, but we don't, A, know if that's going to happen, and B, I feel like somebody just needs to step up and be a hero here for 160 kids.
Because, as you said, here we are, it's July 20th, school's right around the corner. The chances of having the funding from the city itself for the start of the school year is nil.
Correct.
So really looking for a community champion, a number of community champions to step forward.
The mayor, the city council, the school department, working some magic for us would be amazing. It's for the kids. I can't get over that part. When I read the email that said, we're in shock, it's zeroed out, I couldn't even process that. I was nauseous. I was like, ugh.
Now, who'd you hear it from?
Lynn Dambrook, who is the director of elementary ed in Warwick. She's, been a long-time supporter of the program. I used to mentor at her school when she was a principal, so she understands the impact on kids, and it's just shocking to me that the school committee would do such a thing, understanding that I wouldn't want to be on the school committee, and I wouldn't want to be on the city council, because I know there's a lot of difficult decisions that need to be made in the process, but to me, this is not an acceptable one.
And so talk with folks, you explain the mentoring. There's various types of mentoring programs across the state, but this is the one at the schools that gives these kids the one-on-one time with someone in the community. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves about the impact on graduation rates, on drug and alcohol use, and others as well. So talk a little bit about that, what it means for these students to have someone, again, who's not a parent, who's not a teacher, who's there for them to support them and listen to them. It has a direct impact.
It absolutely does. We get statements every year from the kids, from teachers, from parents, that this program makes a difference, that the young people really respond to that caring adult. I can't tell you how many young people are totally deprived of that type of relationship. Nationally, they say 1 in 3 young people don't recognize anybody as being a mentor in their life. For the kids that are already underserved, they're probably all of those ones, right? So these are kids that very often, have things going on either at home, don't feel engaged in school, and the mentors make the difference where they want to come to school, they want to do well, and they really help them to believe in themselves. And it's, as I love to say, there's great conversations that can happen over a game of Uno, right? Because kids get to let their defenses down, relax, and really enjoy building that caring relationship with an adult that really cares about them.
And do you think that the school committee in Warwick is cognizant of the laws of unintended consequences for this cut? Students might then now have behavioral issues, might have attendance issues.
I think that there was no thought of that, Kate, in all honesty. We have professionals from the business community coming into our schools. We have retired volunteers coming into our schools. And we're basically saying that what they offer is not of value. And we're also saying that our kids are not as important as they should be. We know that many times those mentors kind of run in for interference, and they help kids with behavior issues, and they help kids navigate certain things, or might reach out to a guidance counselor and those kinds of things. So our mentors actually in many ways are an additional support that is otherwise just so stretched at the school level. And it's really a very inexpensive way to offer that support to young people.
So again, twofold, urging folks to contact elected officials in the city of Warwick.
Yes, please.
And the website mentorri.org.
Yes, and we probably should have those numbers posted up right there, shouldn't we? So that'll be something that we'll be doing very soon. But to really look at the scope of our work and know that we really practice high quality mentoring. There's something called the Elements of Effective Practice. We teach that to other programs as well and help to support other programs throughout the state. So the fact that literally the foundation of our house crumbled or was taken out from under us on Wednesday morning when we learned the news, it's just unfathomable. Unfathomable. I can't say that word, Kate. It's really bad.
I'm sure you said it enough this week that you can't even utter it one more time.
Right.
Again, along with urging elected officials in the city of Warwick, you again are extending that plea to the community as well, because again, we're looking at September with the program just being cut. Again, these 160
Yes.
students in Warwick who are used to seeing a mentor once a week, who will now not have that opportunity this year at this current point.
Yes.
There are opportunities for people to step up and make an impact, and that's why we're here today to talk about
We
this.
are, absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, I appreciate your coming in. Again, the piece was up on GoLocal about this cut by the Warwick School Committee, but of course we're going to feature this, and again, more information on Mentor RI and what you can do, especially in the city of Warwick, to see this program restored. Joanne Schofield, I appreciate your taking the time to come up here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with our next guest here in the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center.